Hello folks, it's JDporkchop and welcome to another episode of Kerbal Space Program 1.1. In today's episode we are picking up exactly where we left off, which is on a collision course with Duna. I am very excited. This is the first time I've ever been to another planet, so even if it is a probe, it's still exciting stuff. First, before we actually make our contact, which is not very far away, 31 days, considering we've been out here for like over a year. Yeah, well, no, it's just under a year, 325 days. I think it's not very far now, 31 days ago. So, what I'm going to do is at the moment we're sitting at 3.2 million meters off of Duna's kind of atmosphere. I want to bring that down. I want to hopefully dip it down to 40,000. Which I might be being, optimistic, but I am going to try, because it means we can aero brake, which means we'll use less fuel, a lot less fuel. It's already shimmering around a bit. So it's going to be kind of boring, it's going to be kind of burn in one direction, see if it goes down, burn in another direction, see if it goes down, and work my way down. So I'm not going to bore you with it, but just so you know, that is what I am doing. I'm going to burn in all sorts of different directions, trying to bring that down to, hopefully, I don't know, 40 to 30,000. Okay, so I'll be back once I've either succeeded or given up, one or the other. A little tip for you while you're trying to do this kind of thing, if you hit tab while you're in map view, you'll cycle through all the planets. So I can now look and see that we are going to be quite high in our orbit, or in our kind of approach, and a little off to the side. So with that, I suppose if I try and... is it this node we need to burn out to bring it further down? Nope, wrong one. Anyway, so this is basically what I'm doing, is burning in a direction, going nope, and then burning back the other way. I've got it down to 1.1. I had it down to 800,000 a minute ago, but then I messed it up. But yeah, just a little tip for you guys. I'm going to go back to burning, and I'll be back in a second. Look at that! 44,000! That is fantastic. So with that, we will use up a lot less fuel. So yeah, I'm happy with that. I've never done this before. I've looked a little bit up on the internet, but I didn't want to ruin it too much, because it's more fun to learn by yourself. By the way, if you want to get out of that view, if you hit backspace. So, without touching anything, because that took a little while, we are going to fast forward to our interception. And I'm really worried about overshooting. So, just slow it down a little bit. And we are almost there. Almost. Oh look, you can almost see it. Oh, this is, I tell you, I am getting actually kind of excited now. Like I said, I've never done this before. There we go, we are actually now in... Oh look, there's little things. Initiated a flyby of Duna. Escaped gravitational influx of the sun. Excellent. And what's the other one? Contract. That's our contract. So that's 22,220. Perfect. Right. So the next thing is, well, the big question is, do I want to try and reduce it down a little bit lower? From what I read, like the optimum kind of range is 36,000. So if I dropped it down, maybe if I just drop it down to 40. So if I set that there, I go, no, that's going up. How's that going up? I have no idea. Do you know what? Let's just stick with what we've got. Okay. Oh, it's getting close. Like when we're inside the orbit of Ike, then I'll be really, then I'll be happy. Then I'll be happy. Okay. Oh, this is cool. I'm sort of not speaking too much because I'm just sort of soaking it in. Right. So now we are, how far away? 11 minutes away. We are rocketing along at a fair old speed. So now if I do a burn, is it going to go down? No. Why not? That doesn't make any sense to me. Unless my ship's back to front? No. Oh well. I guess we're just going to have to see what happens. I'd like to... I mean, I really would like to get that a little lower. I'm just scared that we're going to kind of just bounce off. The other way we could do it is... Where is... there. That. We could do that. Is that the right way, though? I don't want to go faster, because that seems very counterintuitive to the fact that we're trying to slow down. Right, let's get it down a... I don't know. Let's just dip it below 40. There we go. So we're at 39. Right, no more. That'll be fine. You tell I'm nervous about this. Right. So we're gonna... How long until we're there? 9 minutes, so let's just speed it up a little bit. Nothing crazy. And then... I see, I'm so terrified that we're just gonna bounce off and just go shooting straight off into space. But... Well, I tell you what we could do. So this is not a complete and utter bust. We could do some science right now. So, because we are... I mean, we're right next to the place. So let's have a look. 100 and... Well, we're going to transmit the data. And we're going to transmit it for 43, or it should be... It could be 125 if we took it back, but we have, like, not a lot of fuel left. I don't think that's really a viable option. So we're going to transmit it. Yep, transmit. And then we're going to go into our goo pod. And that's 15. So it's not a huge amount of science, really, but I suppose because we're transmitting it and we're high over Duna, I mean, when we land, hopefully this one's going to do quite a good bit. So we'll transmit that. And we'll leave this one, well, we'll do one of these. And we'll transmit that. And one of these. And we'll whoops, no. We'll transmit that as well. Did that transmit? It would seem so. Okay. So now we have... Did this do it as well? Does that mean you can reuse these ones? Yeah, I suppose you can then. You can reuse these. That's cool. Right, so these two will keep for when we get a little lower. And we also have one more goo pod. In all the time I've been talking. Where are we? Ah, we're still miles away. It's fine. Reset that. Right, we are 120,000. So I think we better get our heat shield lined up. I don't actually have the heat shield on yet. It's underneath this. But I'm going to burn some with this. Right, let's start trying to slow us down. I really, really hope this works. I really, really hope this works. Because this is really cool. We are above Duna. Like, there's people, I know there's a lot of people who have done this, played this game, and, you know, you watch Scott Manley and people like that, and he makes it look so easy. But for me, this is an achievement. I am quite proud of myself right now. As I know there's going to be at least one person who watches this who thinks, yeah, I already have like 5 bases on the moon, and bases on Duna, and like 3 orbiting space stations, and and thinks that this is all very pedestrian. I'm getting a little worried. I have to admit that... Oh no, there we go. Right, so if that explodes, which it might, it really, really might, there is a heat shield underneath, so it should be okay. We are not slowing down at all. Like, maybe we did have to dip in. Oh, I'm getting really worried now. Well, yeah, we definitely needed to go lower than the 39,000 that we did. Well, we still have a bit of fuel left, and we have managed to drop the speed down quite considerably. So, I guess we just pray that we managed to... I mean, look, that is still poker straight. Where are we going to end up if we end up in the middle of nowhere? Oh dear, oh dear. Well, oh no, look, it's curving, it's bending, sort of. No, it's not. It's all in my mind. Oh no, that's done now. Okay, so let's decouple that, blast off the heat shield, and try with this engine. It should be lighter now as well, so it might work. Activate engine. Oh yeah, now look, the speed's going down pretty quick now. Is it going to be quick enough? Is the fuel going to last? That's the other thing. This is a tiny little thing. This was supposed to just be for maneuvering. Oh dear. Explore Duna. Okay, cool. We did that. First milestone. Flyby of Duna. Gravitational influence. Oh, we already looked at that one. And Flyby Duna. We already looked at that one as well. We're still going over 1,000 meters a second. Poop. Well, I do have the save file. I could go back and have another go. It does sort of seem like cheating, but also we came a long way to have to turn back and go home. Oh! Oh, you beauty! You absolute dancer! We have no fuel left whatsoever. Oh, I think there's like a tiny... Oh, and we're gonna... Oh dear. Okay, so here's the plan. We have a tiny amount of fuel in this thing that it doesn't really need all of it. It doesn't even need half of it. Actually, it probably doesn't need any of it. Because if we're going to dip into the atmosphere again, I can just disattach it and it can do its own thing. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we're going to move this into here. We're going to try and slow down that last little bit that gets us... Oh, we're even going to do a contact with... I might leave it like that, actually. That'd be cool. And then burn it again in a minute. We're going to have a tiny contact with Ike, which is cool. Okay, so we're going to do that. Oh, talk about the skin of your teeth. Okay, that's what the plan is. I mean, Ike is huge compared to the moon, isn't it? Okay. I am really enjoying myself right now. This is good fun. Bingo! Right, so we have contact with Ike. So we can get some more science. Excellent. So where is my... I better just check my batteries, actually. Oh, and we get that as well. Flyby of Ike. Cool. Just check my batteries. Batteries are fine. Okey-dokey. So, let's have a look here. What do we want to do? Do we want to use this? I could use one of these ones. Let's use one of these ones. Observe mystery goo. There we go. Transmit that back. And we will also take some readings with this. And there is a helicopter flying over my house. Fantastic. Yeah, so we want to transmit that. And we want to transmit... Oh pressure. Transmit. Right, we can't use that. We've done a goo pod. I think that's pretty much everything we can do at Ike. We obviously can't take crew reports because there's no crew. So we're going to move on. Now let's have a little look. What do we have? So we need to bring our orbit up a little bit. So let's just burn. First, let's just go past Ike. And get back onto our orbit. And then... okay. Let me do this. We just need to get it a little bit up. There we go. Perfect. Right. Next part of the mission. Okay, so I've had a little look, and the atmosphere starts at 50,000 meters. So I've dropped us down at 55, and that means we're going to have a nice low orbit, so I can dump this little guy off and send him on his merry way. So what we're going to do is we're just going to speed it up a little bit. Whoa. And kind of here-ish, we're going to do another little burn and slow us down just a little bit. And that's to take us away from having any kind of interaction with Ike. Just want to make sure that doesn't go. So there we go. That'll be plenty. And then just to bring that back round again, I'm going to burn here. Is it this side, or I bet I've gone the wrong way? Yep, I have. Other side. Just gonna burn here and bring this back up. Perfect. Right, so this guy doesn't need any more fuel now. He has done doing what he's gonna do. So I'm gonna click this, and I'm gonna click this. And we're going to put the fuel back into here, because we don't need it. This guy's just going to stay in orbit as a monument to our wonderful, to our fantastic achievements. Done. I'm also going to send out his panels, even though it doesn't really matter. We've never been short on power the whole time, even when we were sending off data, because the little ones on the side are obviously doing plenty of a job. But anyway, so that's this guy. He's finished now. The last thing is just when we get round to here is to take a last scientific reading. So let's do that. There we go. And what are we doing? Okay. Log temperature. Transmit that. Log pressure. Send that. And observe mystery goo. 21,000 21 science. Send that. And that's pretty much everything that we can do. So what we're gonna do now is speed us up again. Just do it. I'll do it the old-fashioned way and do it that way. And then we're going to disconnect our miniature probe and send him down. Perfect. Decouple. Oh yeah, the air brakes. I totally forgot about that. Oh, what a dafty. If I deployed those, we wouldn't have had any problems. I totally forgot those were attached. I tell you. Oh well. Right, so our little probe is shooting off into the wide yonder. he needs to make a tiny, tiny little burn. Basically just enough to bring us down. Wow, just that ejection speed gave us 10,000 meters. So if I'd ejected him in the other direction, we wouldn't have had to make any burn whatsoever. That's a thing to remember for the future. Right, I need to turn the engine on. Activate. Alright, perfect. We are sadly, by the looks of it, going to be landing in the dark. But that really shouldn't matter much. Here we go. I'm going to point the front of my spaceship towards the planet, as I have the heat shield on the front for some reason. I can't remember why I did it that way, but that's the way I did it. So we're going to point that there. I'm also going to... The only thing about this is because we're using... Actually, ignore me. I'm talking rubbish. Okay, so where are we? We're now should be just going into the atmosphere. So if we speed this up a little bit. It's a very, very thin atmosphere, so you don't get the same amount of drag and stuff with it, which is quite apparent because we're at 30,000 and hasn't even slowed us down a bit. I am hoping that we do not go smashing into the planet's surface, but we're slowing down. We should be good. We're going to hopefully land in this little valley. 10,000. We're at 10,000 and we're at 800 meters a second. Now, if I can hopefully try and turn because we're going so fast and the air going across it is kind of holding it, I can't turn the ship around, which is maybe a slight design flaw on my part. But I'm trying to turn it around so I can actually point my thruster at the ground. But we should be okay. We're 8,000 meters, 500 meters a second. Hopefully we should be able to use the parachute soon. I won't even need to use the engine at all. Okay guys, sorry I had to quickly pause it there. So where were we? We were just about to try and deploy these. And they weren't deploying for some reason. Oh, there we go. Just because the staging was wrong. So we have finally slowed down enough. Oh, we are still getting really close to the ground, which is making me nervous. Still going at 200 meters a second. Come on. Slow it down. There we go. Those chutes are fully deployed now. And we're done. Although we're upside down. So not exactly to plan. Can I flip it? Is it going to let me flip it? Oh, come on, flip, flip, flip. No, because, oh look, because the chutes are there. Yeah, we're going to land upside down. Oh well. Well, I suppose it's better than not landing at all, or going smashing into the surface. Look at this, we're on Duna. This is very cool. I'm very happy about this. So I'm gonna... Let's just fast forward it down so we get down to the ground. And... oh, there we go. Right, we're getting pretty close now. So let's just... And please don't break, please don't break. Yes! There we go. So we are down. We have landed on Duna. The only problem is I'm gonna... No, we still have plenty of battery. I was going to say I'm going to wait until the sun comes up before sending this data off, but we should have enough. So, observe mystery goo. And that gives us another 24, but it's 80 science if we manage to land here and recover the science. So we're going to transmit that. And what else? Right, so underneath is the... am I going to be able to click it? Oh no, it's not on the underneath, it's here. I put 2 on. Right, log pressure. Wow, 48 science, and it's 96 if we come here and recover it. And 32. So that's done. The last little thing I want to do, look at this, this is so cool, is I'm going to go into map mode and just fast forward as so that, oh, we're orbiting the wrong way, so there we go. Which side is south? Not south. There it is. There it is, the sun coming up over Duna. Well, I am very, very happy. My first successful landing on Duna. So what we're going to do now is head back to the Space Center. I really want to plant a flag and say, like, I've been here. So with all that science, 477 we're at now. We can go into here, and I think what I'm going to do is what I said I was going to do in the last one, is although I may not have a massive use for all of these, I just want to get all the things unlocked. So we're going to do that, engineering, and we're going to do ladders. Oh, and that gets me the science lab, so we might be able to take that up and stick it onto our space center. Oh, not enough science. So another 160. So another 100. Well, I'm going to be sending some more missions off to the moon. So guys, wow, look at the money. I have got 170,000. I must have got some. Oh, here we go. Tons more stuff unlocked. So you have successfully explored Duna. That got me, wow, almost 500,000. Transmit data from Duna. That was 40 million. Land on Duna, 75. Not million, 1,000. Wow, being special today. Achieve orbit, 37,000. And then all of this stuff. Wow, excellent. So, I guess, just to wrap up then, we will have a little look at this. Explore Ike, that would be the next one. Science data from space around Ike. See, orbit Ike. I guess we could send another probe and give it another go, or we could move on to something else. I don't know. We'll see what happens in the next episode. But I think here is a good place to leave this, guys, and wrap up and just say that, you know, there is still plenty more planets out there for us to go and have a look at. So maybe head to Eve next, or even push further out and go to Dres. Jewel would be really cool. And maybe even start thinking about sending manned missions to these places, which could be something really interesting to do in the future. Anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, a like and a subscribe would be really appreciated. And I will catch you in the next one. So I've been JDporkchop, and you've been watching Kerbal Space Program 1.1.